Because it's fast.
Okay. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and I'm going to start by taking roll from my left, please.
Ellen Johnston.
Rob Delmas.
Elida Snow.
Ron Goodman.
Kriston Martin.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, we're going to do our student recognition. And let's start with Mr. Moe presenting Olivia Keller. Kriston, could you? I'm stuck. Yes, of course.
Okay, so I really wanted to start this off with a joke from North Dakota because that's where she was born. And we used to tell a lot of those jokes when I was young, but we don't tell them anymore. And I'll tell you, this one's no joke. She is a pretty special student that I have, and I'll tell you a little bit about her. So you get the whole. So she's 12 right now, and her favorite thing about school is learning different ways and doing activities and socializing with friends. In my free time, I do sports and hang out with friends and let's see, attempt the learning and help you with this one.
Attempt to play my trombone and baritone.
Yep, Science Olympiad and my brother. What's this about bugging her brother? Annoying her brother. That's the part. Okay. She likes to annoy her brother. And then what she likes to do when she grows up, I got a kick out of this. She says, I'm not sure what I want to do when I grow up because I have 5 whole years to figure it out. Everyone has ideas, and I'm sure they do, and opinions, okay, on what they think I'm good at. So if I work hard and all that stuff I like, and all the good stuff I'm good at, I think it's okay that it's in pencil light. I have no idea what I want to be currently, so I got a kick out of that. It's just a straight up honest answer for her, and we do these things called dress up days. And when I look at like who has the most school spirit, Mr. Roisin, does she have the most school spirit when she dresses up?
I'm sure she does. I can't recall.
So I'm going to remind you.
It was so good I didn't recognize you.
This is what she dressed up as: a candy cane, Cindy Lou Who, a cowboy, and a football player. And that's just this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, has she always done that? I mean, she goes all the way out. So it's fun, and you know, and it seems like every challenge that I give, she's like 100% and more. You know, we just did one of our word searches, and you know, she got that. And today we were walking down the hall, and there was a slip of paper on the floor, and she just reached down and picked it up. You know, there's a sea of 30 kids, and everybody walks by it, and so this one here is pretty special. So we'll give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, next we will do Mr. Johnson for Olivia Miller. Is she not here?
Yeah, Olivia is unable to make it because her parents are still working and transportation issues. But I wish she was here because she has a contagious smile that would spread across the room, and she would do a little twirl for you and bring a laughter to this entire environment. And the reason why we recommended her is because she brings cheer to everyone around her. If there's a student who's down, she's quick to help them up or cheer them up with her smile and her laugh. Every adult that works with her that I ask her about or ask, hey, tell me something about her, she makes me smile or she makes me laugh. She has a contagious laugh. She brings a positive, like, it doesn't matter the atmosphere that she walks into the classroom, it's positive once she enters. So, Olivia Miller, she's a great.
All right, and then Miss Smith for Miss Emma Derryberry.
So this is Emma, and I had the pleasure of being her teacher last year as well. So Emma is very happy all the time. She is a go-getter. She likes to do anything and everything. Whether I give an assignment and everyone in the whole class is going, oh, come on. Emma's like, no, we're doing this. Like, we are getting this done. Miss Smith needs to organize her life over there, so we're gonna help her out and we're gonna be over here doing our work. And if someone needs help, I will help you. Leave her alone, give her some space. So Emma, when I think of Emma, I think of a teacher, a future teacher. In fact, last year during our play centers in preschool, I had to put all my own teacher stuff to the side and bring in special stuff just for her and her friends because they love to play teacher. Even still, they'll go to the board. She loves to teach other people how to do things. She loves to ride a four-wheeler and do boy stuff with her brother Daniel and play with her cats, right, Phoebe and Mika? So that's Emma.
Okay, at this time, if we could get them all out to the hallway, we'd like to take some photos. I haven't heard since last week. No. Okay. I heard she was supposed to come home soon, but I didn't, there was never a day, so I'm hoping. Because they were able to get her handset, right? Okay.
You're able to what?
Able to get her handset, so.
Yeah, I heard she was.
Does her daughter live here?
What?
Does her daughter live here?
No, she lives in Missoula.
Okay,
Her
that's right.
son lives here with me.
Right, yeah,
But yeah, Julian is in Missoula.
okay.
I think so. Something said on is in the yes. We spend let's get it set. And so and I said, she said, no, she's not. No, but it's not like it's I think everybody wants to be busy, so let's,
I'm sure.
which is really not to have to discuss it again. And I mean, I think everybody.
I can close it.
She strenuous lady to play. Maybe not. You know, and getting.
But I thought he was supposed to be here to discuss this.
Yeah, I only made it through two. One did not pertain.
Okay, at this time, I will take any statements from the audience briefly addressing the trustee on any non-agenda item. Okay,
Do I have to stand up?
no, go ahead.
Okay. Just talking as a teacher here, not as a union person. I think we can all agree that the school district has been through a rough go and something that we don't want to go through, especially the middle high school. And you know, I really disagree with the decision by the school district to to not compensate Mr. Germany for the rest of December. You know, we are in the business of people and kids. And I don't care what a policy says, we had an opportunity to show some compassion and some humanity for a real rough situation, and we neglected that. And I just think it was wrong.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay, we are moving on to the setting of next month's meetings. Monday, February 3rd for the special agenda and February 10th for the regular board meeting. As I kind of mentioned last week's meeting, I will not be here for either of them. BG was supposed to, but if she's not here, Ellen said she would take over. So, but that also will put us down to kind of bare bones again, so. Okay. Just giving everybody.
Yeah, I promise that we.
Okay, then I need a motion, please.
Make a motion that we set the February meetings for February 3rd for the special board agenda meeting and February 10th for the regular board meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion by Kristan and a second by Ellen. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, the December minutes, did we all get a chance to read them? If so, were there any corrections made or noticed?
Not for me.
Okay, then I need a motion, please.
I move that we approve the December 2nd, December 9th, and December 13th minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by Rob to approve December's minutes as listed. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, budget and finance.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the December financial report. See, total is $1,181,664.19. Approved warrants 17166 through 17259. No voted warrants.
Okay. I have a motion by Kristan and a second by Ellen to approve the trustees' financial report. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, leadership team. Ms. Kittle.
Sure.
So attendance, you can see that we have 10 new students and 9 dropped so far since the beginning of the year. Right at the beginning of December, then right again now, we've had quite a few kids come in and go. Students, most of them are students returning that were previously with us. So enrollment's at 549. This is a read across the grade levels, started at the beginning of January. Mrs. Wall's class and Mrs. Miller's class partnering up in the hallways in Blue Pod. Things are off to a good start and plan on doing it at least two times a month throughout the rest of the year. The kids seem to love it. Our December winners for our McDonald's, there's our winners. Good group of kids. Some of them that haven't been in before, but good job. Then our behaviors, again, our behaviors this month are lower than they were in December. Again, we're working on 3 weeks like last time. Can't say why they're dropping all of a sudden, but I'm not complaining.
Say, don't jinx yourself.
Exactly. Same type behaviors. You can see some of the chronic moderates dropped. I expected the chronic moderates to be up, but this month they dropped down to 0. No telling why some of them take place, but there you go. Physical aggression seems to be on both sides, usually one of the bigger items. And that goes to last Friday night at wrestling event. We had grade school kids, that decided that they were going to push and shove and get into a fight at the high school events. So you'll see something coming out from Scott later in the week that on Parent Square that says that students can attend, but with parents from the elementary school
And stay with.
and stay with their parents.
Okay.
So you'll see that later this week through Parent Square.
So for our MTSS, we continue to strengthen and to refine our processes. This week is the collaborative for our MTSS Tier 2 behavior. So we are taking a moment to reground in our behavior pathway system. We worked with both our Tier 3 team as well as our PBIS team on looking at this document and refining some things to bring clarity to steps that are taken so that the documentation is in place for students to get the correct support that they need. And so the meetings have been positive, and I think the document and the system is strengthening, and our campus is wrapping their head around what that means, so that again, kids that go from benchmark into strategic get the right level of support and intervention that is tracked to see the response or the lack of, which then if there's a lack of, it would move into the intensive and what that looks and sounds like for kids getting the right supports. And instruction, our mask window 2, it started today. And you can see that gives the overview of our tests by week, by grade level. I think teachers have done a fantastic job with this shift in the way that the state test is delivered to students. The data is available the Thursday after the test list is taken. And so teachers and grade level teams have found them very useful in order to make decisions instructionally for grade level all the way down to the student level. And so it helps with driving instruction and also the small group interventions for students. So first round was strong, and I think second round will continue to be successful for classroom students. And our SLT this month, we're gonna focus on what we gleaned from Carrie Cole's December professional development session, really talking about the knowing doing gap. And she defines that as in education, it's the disconnect between what educators know, such as theories, best practices, and research, and what they actually implement on a consistent basis. And so this will just continue conversations that we have already been having and how this has impacted instructional planning by grade level. And so we will refer back to the key takeaways from her work with us. And our next SLT is January 22nd, which is next week. And this is always a great partnership. Mrs. Rose has her high school students. They write and illustrate climate stories, and then they partner up with different grade levels, and they're able to read their stories to a live audience. And so I think it's just a very positive event for the older children, as well as the younger children are often in awe of the big kids reading to them and knowing that they wrote and illustrated books. So this continues this week. It started last week, and they're coming and reading to multiple classes this week. And our family and community engagement, we do partner with Lincoln County Public Health. And so Sarah Long, who is their disease intervention specialist and tobacco education expert, comes and works with our students and shares relevant information about tobacco and vaping and the impact nicotine or vaping has on their health. So she worked with all of our 5th and 6th grade students over the course of last week. And had some really good questions for her. And also our family community engagement, our holiday performances were well attended. for every grade level. Ms. Houston does a fantastic job of working with the students and teaching them the Christmas songs, the love of music, and it's just nice to see their sweet singing and performance success.
Our parent council fundraiser, the logger card brought in just over $5,000. There's a few more packets that have come in just recently, and I will get that taken care of. And then discussion with parent council and Ron and myself, funding lights into the bus lane, and we're looking at possible solar lights in that bus lane so that it is less expensive
And illuminate.
and illuminates the whole area with motion sensor. So, and a stop sign for our crossing guard that apparently we'll been hit a few times.
Oh,
She's been hit? Oh, no.
Almost hit.
no, that's not.
Okay.
I guess it's been pretty close.
And that's it.
Okay, perfect.
So Scott, if you don't have anything from the high school,
Principal, or you want me to start as social services director?
you start wherever your little heart desires.
Yeah, so I mean, as a principal, I told Mr. Roshini that I said, you guys aren't getting a fancy, cute presentation from us. I started working on it today, and I just thought it was just, to be honest with you, it was too much for me to get done just to present with you guys. So obviously, there's some changes going on at the middle high school. The staff has been great. Mark has been great, making me feel in the building, just trying to figure out how things work and operate. Kind of getting things figured. It's actually the end of our semester, so Wednesday, Thursday is our semester final. So we have a block schedule for other tests. So Friday starts the new semester. I feel like there's been a wealth of parents coming in either wanting to move to some type of a homeschool at the end of the semester or wanting to bring their kids back to school. So just meeting with those parents when trying to talk them out of going to homeschool and offering different alternatives, come back. But there are still been a pretty good chunk of parents that are bringing their kids back this semester. So when we February we have those kind of, I'll be curious to see what the kids who are dropping out or going to homeschool and those who are really enrolling, what those numbers look like. Again, I should have brought some of the pictures, but the December community projects that the high school teachers or the high school kids do that last day of school, I mean, it's phenomenal. The cards, the socks, the blanket that they make that we go to the community is always just a wonderful event. And it's amazing how hard those kids work to put into those kind of projects. So would like to try to think of something to do maybe this spring as well as for a community project besides the cleanup day that we usually do. What else?
That day, the middle school did a great project too, something that they did. So they were trying to think of something to do for the community too. And they, I think it was a senior citizen, they had Michelle Foss create a placemat. And on one side, it had the schedule of the longer events for winter and spring. And on the other side was a printed template that the kids colored. And so when the meals went out that day and other days, they eventually got all, I don't know, they have how many meals they take out. So then those senior citizens could, if they could make it, if they go on FHS, they'll just kind of know what's happening at least athletic events they got in. Nice placemat. So that was kind of what they did. Yeah, it's been a transition, but it's been good.
And then again, just, I mean, moving forward, just know that our SLT teams, our tier 1 or tier 2 teams, we'll start meeting with them next week. Just kind of looking at kind of what's been going on and going back through and looking at the building universals and some of our T2s and kind of how discipline has ran and just start kind of tweaking some of those, kind of trying to move forward and trying to make something positive out of a kind of a bad situation, I guess, the best that we can. Special services wise, just know that Ann Garfinkel is in town next couple days. She was at the high school today for most of the day. She'll be at the elementary school tomorrow. Again, she comes in. She's a phenomenal resource. to help us with some of those tier 3 our special needs kids, especially with the autistic kids and some of our Down syndrome students. She's actually going to be here on the 14th when you do our PR day, presenting to the both buildings, talking about some behavior things. So again, she's always fun to visit with, and well, we still just we have referrals coming after referrals for kids that want some needs sped. A lot of preschool kids, a lot of speech issues. And she actually said, just this group of 4-year-olds that we have, like the preschool kids from out the state and the country, that their articulation skills are the lowest that she's ever seen. And we're actually seeing that as well, just kids who just have issues with their speech. So preschool is going well. We just picked up 2 more kids. So I think we're sitting at 35 right now, preschool kids. A couple of parents moved into the community, and we were happy to pick up their students. And then I know we've talked about kind of what's going to be happening with my old position. And the conversation that Ron and I have had is to wait about 2-3 weeks just to see kind of how things are kind of panning out, and if things are slowing down or not, before we start making decisions on how we're going to maybe supervise plumber and what we're going to do with some of the curriculum. I got to keep the sped, but how are we going to do some of the other maybe duties that I have? So, and then the reading grant just opened up. If you guys didn't know, for the state reading grant, we are on the list to be eligible to apply for that. So we'll start. There was a Zoom meeting on Friday, kind of initial training on what they're looking for. Carrie Cole has offered to be kind of help us write that as well. So we'll probably need to get a team together here pretty soon to just discuss the next, kind of steps to move towards start writing that grant.
Do you have a completion deadline for that grant? Have they set a date?
I figure out the dates in mind.
There's March 14th.
I was gonna say it's March. It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, March 14th?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll get started on that here right away. But unless you guys have any questions.
One, curious, all that happened was obviously pretty abrupt, not really any sort of transition. So how is morale? How are things going?
Monday, Tuesday was awkward in the building. It's okay. I mean, people are it's just something different. I like to think that I've heard a lot of people say, I'm glad that it's you that's here. I've heard that a lot. Just someone that they know, someone that knows the kids. I know the system, rather than just somebody random coming in that is that they don't know. I think it's okay. I mean, I think it's like Mark and I keep talking about. I mean, it's imperative that we kind of set a good tone and a good message right away, so we don't lose staff. And I think we've done that so far. So I'm happy with how things have gone so far, and I'm happy on how I've been accepted into that building so far from everybody.
Yeah, I think overall the morale attitude is the best it could be in the situation. I mean, there's as you know, there's family members there. There's other teachers that Jim's was there a long time, and but I mean, moving forward, I think it couldn't be any better, And the first day I walked around with Scott, and I think we had all the middle school classrooms, and just said hello to him, introduced Scott, and if they had any questions, and we moved on. And I think he hit most of the high school classrooms the day before. So I really feel I'm really looking forward to working with Scott. Not that I wasn't with Jim, but I think it's the best out of a really rough situation. That what happened. So I'm feeling really positive. I think a lot of teachers are too. I think most of them are moving forward, and it's just going to get better each day. So it could have been just the opposite. It could have been, but I think it's moving forward.
Okay, perfect. Anything else, Mr. B? Any other questions?
And just if you think about, if you have any questions. Athletics, girls basketball started last week. We do have 4 AU basketball teams going down to Glacier Freeze in Kalispell this week. So that's some great more opportunity for them to play some basketball. And, the winter sports are underway. We will be interviewing very soon. We have one applicant, there's a strong applicant for the new head soccer boys coach, varsity coach. And then, another applicant for the, middle school head track, I think that's that position.
Head boys soccer?
Head boys soccer. Oh, head girls.
Okay, I was like, I didn't realize that one was
No,
open.
no,
Okay.
apologize.
Okay.
So, another thing that's after the middle school, Scott and I talked about it, and just a few things that we want to, tweak and change a little bit with duties. And it's the only school I've ever been to where teachers not have duties. It's kind of cool they didn't, but there's some places where we need some extra help. So we'll be talking to them about that, not just in high school and then middle school, but there's a few places in high school. And then also on the middle school, we'll be talking to either the whole middle school at once, or maybe 7th and 8th grades, we haven't decided. We're gonna just kind of reinforce and let them know, some things that they have to, our expectations, and teach twos, like Scott said, and then also a new policy is that they're going to be their cell phones are going to be used at lunch and recess. So those will be a true away for the day at the school. So.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Goodman.
Yep.
Did you send me something, Rob?
What's that?
Did you send me something?
I did.
About right there. This one?
No, it's a grant.
I don't see anything from you.
You didn't see anything from me. Well,
Nothing.
well, it was actually a long one too.
Don't know.
I think it's probably the best one I've ever done. Didn't get it, huh?
In the sunshine?
Let's see here. I think it was titled. Well, that is not good. Let me find it here. Can't really call that board report, I think it is.
Did you send it to Stacy? Where did it go? She has. Is it in my trash? Just kidding.
It was much better than that.
It's just saying.
Well,
Can you wing it?
I was gonna say, if you wing it and you find it tomorrow, you can send it to us.
yeah. Well, I'll say some of the things that were on the report. Last week, we had the UFY Screenagers movie that was in here, and they had 20-some people that were here. Good conversation with parents. And we've got another coming up on the 17th, I believe. And so we'll advertise that as well. Like I said, it was a good discussion. Lots of parents were understanding what was taking place and some of the concerns that were taking place with technology. The other thing that was a big issue is the summer projects we talked about in our Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting. One of the things in 2019, we received a letter from the fire chief saying that we need to get a new fire alarm at the elementary school. So I've gotten a quote for that. It's $275,000.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't believe that covers, as I was reading through the pages and pages of it, it doesn't cover the cost of conduit. So that is probably another $100,000 with the conduit in. So we're talking $370,000, I'm guessing. Then, of course, we have a roof on the library that needs to be replaced.
At the elementary?
Nope, at the high school. That is an original roof with another roof on top of it. And so those are old events. So we've got a whole bunch of projects going on. The other projects that's taking place is the bleachers at the football field, track and football. And at this point, if we wanted to get rid of some people, I'd have them walk across those boards and they'll just go somewhere. They're just bad. They're in bad shape. And so we already have some money set aside from the fundraiser at the high school. And we've had other money that has been donated by, well, 2 or 3 different people at this point. I think we have, Leslie, I think it's a little bit over, pushing $30,000 at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
I'm assuming that that's going to be a $40,000 bill. And if we have 30,000 of it taken care of, that's a pretty good deal for us.
Are we getting the bleachers from the other school? Or are we just redoing what we have? Like, what's the plan?
I think I've been working with Brent Orr and I need to finish up with him. But his take on it was going over and unscrewing all those things and not knowing what you're going to get. And he said it's just, if you were closer, that's a good deal for somebody getting closer. But to drive over there and spend, I mean, he's like you said, you're gonna spend 5 hours driving over and 5 hours back. It's possible. I mean, by the time you have a couple people there for 2 or 3 days, and it's just not going to be worth it. He
So
said.
we're just redoing our existing structure at this point.
Yes, correct. And what we were interested in is the aluminum planks anyway. So to get them for $20,000, and if you're going to drive it over and pay for $15,000 or $10,000, it's just too much. It's just not worth the hassle, he said.
Okay.
Which is kind of why we work with someone like Brent Orr, who that's what he does for a living. Doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in this neighborhood, within 10 miles, that's a good idea. So, other than that, I'll share the rest of the report with you. The other big issue that's taking place right now is the accreditation process. We've got a month and a half to get that finished. And it is really great to have another brand new process. So another 2 years in a row of a new one. So this is really great.
Do those come from OPI?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the deal. So that's going to be a big push in my mind. Nice support from the superintendent's group. And if you want to hear anybody complain, just go to one of those superintendent's meetings. It's world class. So other than that, I think, like I said, there's been a tough event taking place at the middle high school. And I think the job is just to move forward and do as best we can. So.
Okay, perfect. Then, any other questions for Mr. Goodman? No? Okay, we will move on to resignation, retirement, reduction of force, and non-renewal. Looks like we just have one. Need a motion, please?
I move we accept the resignation of Amber Widemer, Libby Middle School, High School paraprofessional.
Second.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by Rob to approve Amber Widmer's resignation. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so staff contracts and transfers. Am I not understanding, but Ron is in the middle of a 2-year contract, correct? So we don't actually have to vote on it? We gave him a 2-year contract last year?
then, yes, you don't.
Okay, That's what I thought. So that is on there when it doesn't necessarily need to be. So pretty much just the last meeting was an evaluation and a.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Then we will move on past that to the 2025 and 26 fall coaching recommendations. So we have the attached list. Pretty much everybody is returning, it looks like. Just one open girls head soccer coach with good possibilities. Did we ever get an answer to the Mr. Hodel question?
Yes, that is it's not, it was an additional position. There was always 5 coaches. So that is a position and also back. It wasn't, talking to Nick, he was always there as that coach. One of his assignments was to share his expertise. I don't know if it was line offense or whatever it was with Ryan Stapley, but it was an additional position that they brought in there just to help out for that year. Yeah.
Okay, I think we were aware of that. We just
Oh.
were told that he was choosing to only do it for 1 year. And so that's where we were a little confused. But
Yeah.
if that's the way
Yeah.
it's listed, then that is a good explanation. Okay, looks like we do have a couple of middle school openings. And a couple of LES openings. Do we have anybody looking into those, do we know?
Is it one girls basketball coach? Is that one of the?
Nope, so this is volleyball or LES, so elementary football. And
I don't believe we have any tips yet.
a couple of middle school assistants one for volleyball, one for football. Okay. I guess we can just approve them as listed unless there is any other questions or comments for Mr. Roisin. Okay, I need a recommendation, please.
I make a motion that we accept the coaches as listed.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by Ellen to approve 2025 and 26 season for fall coaching recommendations. Any more questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on past old business since there is none, and we will move on to new. MHSA bylaws and amendment proposals. So did we get any clarification on those at the meeting last week?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yep. So the whole issue with the 8th graders is not applicable test. The only thing that we wanted to vote against was the
Transfer within certain miles.
The 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
So I think that's all. That was a good conversation that meeting.
Yeah. I think Nick and I both got a pretty strong, good discussion and strong outcome of, where he's gonna vote and stuff. So there's one really, that one I think really applied to us that much. But
well, and the big point in all of it is that everything that we do, even with the 8th grade, we can make things more strict. And so I think all of us felt like the policies that we have in place right now, where we don't want to have just a free for all with 8th graders coming up.
So we can make it more strict than
Yes.
MHSA, just not more lenient.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a big clarification point. Chris, who else was in that meeting? Chris, were you there?
Yep.
Yep. So,
Rob was there.
Yep. So I think that was the big takeaway on the MHS.
So we don't believe we have to actually do anything with that, right?
He just told us how he was gonna vote
Yeah.
Represents.
and
Okay.
why.
And that was clarification.
Okay, so then moving on, we have consideration of out-of-district attendance agreements for students CH and AB. And what grade levels are those? Where are those going?
Yeah, I can't remember what grade level they are. They're in Troy.
Oh, they're going,
Yeah.
huh?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. So it's our students choosing to go to Troy?
Correct.
Okay. So we have to approve it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I need a motion, please.
I make a motion that we accept or accept that they go out of district following the attendance agreement for students CH and AB.
Second.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by Kriston to approve the out-of-district attendance agreement for student CH and AB. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Consideration of Montana Reads grant application.
Yes, so we would like, as we already talked about it in the group, I'd like the board to go ahead and approve that we finished Wilson and Blackwood. It is a whopper of a grant. We went through it. It's $49 million across the state. And professional development we received in the past, I think, has been very meaningful. And so we would like to have permission to go ahead and. Yeah.
So this is the big one. We're just
No,
approving
it's
it,
big.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
It's just it's retitled, so I'm never sure.
Yeah. And it's bigger. I mean, it's much, there's a lot more funding that goes with it. And I think
What was the last one for the whole state? Do
Oh,
you
boy.
remember?
I don't know, but 49 million is a.
30 million last
It
time.
was, it was a good chunk of change, and it's going to be even
Close
more.
to double, essentially. Okay.
So again, the professional development is outstanding. It's just world class. So-
Did they expand the requirements as far as there are more schools, so they're spreading that money out over more schools, or are they trying to keep it at a smaller?
So I sat in on the meeting with that, and I think the bottom line is they're gonna have a few more schools, but the bottom line, there's gonna be more money for each school.
For each school. Okay. And then March 14th or whatever was the date. Okay.
So, and that's starting to work on that already.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from my quiet group tonight? Everybody's asleep. Okay, then I need a motion, please.
I move that we approve going for the Montana Reads grant.
Second.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by Rob to approve the application for Montana Reads grant. Any more questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. I need a motion to adjourn, please.
I shall move.
Second.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by Ellen to approve the adjournment. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, have a good night, everybody.
Candy. I don't know.